I've seen enough.
Insurance Halftime.
Welcome to the USAA Insurance Halftime. The Cowboys look like a team devastated. 12 players on IR. Here with Booger McFarland, I'm Susie Colbert. 2 games on a Monday night, so let's get you caught up on what happened. Chiefs-Bills, Orchard Park, for Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, each coming off their first loss of the season. Boog, it was a rainy night there. Chiefs leaning on the run game.
Yeah, they rushed for 245 yards as a team, led by Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 26 carries, 161 yards. And then Patrick Mahomes did his thing. Kelsey running a nice route there against Tremaine Edmonds to get in the end zone. 2
touchdowns for Kelsey on the night, ensuing Bills drive.
Yeah, nice little improvisational play by Josh Allen, extending the play. A nice little toe tap there by Stephon Diggs, getting it 2 feet in. That's a good TD there.
And Boog, you said it. The story for the Chiefs, the run game, 46 rush attempts, 245 rushing yards. Both of those, Andy Reid most. After the game, here's Patrick Mahomes.
I had to tell myself not to throw it, just keep handing that thing off. I mean, Clyde was running well, O-line was blocking well. And, I just want to win. I don't care how that's done, pass, run, defense, whatever that is. And we found a way to do that.
I got to do a better job. It's plain and simple. I didn't play very good tonight. I know that. I understand that. This team can't afford to have me play poorly.
A season low 122 passing yards for Allen.
Yeah, he was just a little off, and you expect Josh Allen to play better, especially in inclement weather. Coming from Wyoming, he should know how to hold a wet ball. The weather was bad, but you got to hit the easy throws. Early in the game, first down, first really pass of the game, wide open there. You got to make that throw and get your team in rhythm, get your team going. He was off all night. And then toward the end of the game right here, it's fourth quarter. He's trying to make a play. Throughout the game, Josh Allen never felt comfortable, and you would have thought that he would have been more comfortable in the inclement weather. It was Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs that played more comfortable.
Now the Bills have lost 2 straight after a 4-0 start. We know it's halftime on a Monday night. We need our...
Out to the left.
Boy, and he's hurt. Dak Prescott's hurt. That foot was just pointed in a direction it should not be.
Prescott can't put any weight on it, and Andy Dalton come on down. Deep ball down the right side. Forget up. Caught it! The kick's up, and the Cowboys win.
Yeah, I knew the situation that I was in, and just trying to do my best to support Dak and everything that he's doing.
Yeah, it sucks. It's going to take all of us to fill that void.
Devastating when you lose your number one.
I feel terrible for him. He's a fine young man and an outstanding quarterback.
Just want everyone to know that I'm doing well. And I can't thank you enough for all your love, your support, your prayers.
My job is to keep this thing going exactly how Dak had it. Yeah, I think it definitely gives you appreciation for being out there, being the guy. Don't feel like we want there to be any drop-off since he's not in there.
That appreciation runs deep. The Cowboys so fortunate to have Dalton, who is no ordinary backup. 133 starts, 5 trips to the playoffs, and Dalton himself is just so grateful and ready to launch the next chapter. Let's take a look at some impressive numbers in Dalton's career. He has 70 wins and has thrown for nearly 32,000 yards, both 9th in the NFL since his rookie season in 2011. Dalton has 204 touchdown passes in his career. He's one of 45 players in NFL history to throw at least 200 touchdowns. All of those TDs came with the Bengals, the most in the history of the franchise. But tonight, he makes his first start for the Cowboys after replacing Dak Prescott in the third quarter last week. He led a game-winning drive to help the Cowboys beat the Giants. Steve, Dalton and the Cowboys coaches insist they can do everything with this offense that they did with Dak Prescott. But what do you think are realistic expectations going forward?
Susie, I agree with that. You know, the life got sucked out of Andy Dalton in Cincinnati, but I also didn't like how he ended it himself. I thought he lost his fight. And so tonight, what I want to make sure that does he want to go on a kind of a backup cruise through the NFL over the rest of his career, or does he want to reclaim that starting job and get a new contract with somebody? If I see that grit tonight, I believe in Andy Dalton all the way. And so last week, you think about it, he comes in cold, and he's got to go do things that only starters do, right? Here's a starter for the game-winning field goal, little drive starter to Amari Cooper. Now, Do you think he's active? Can he go get those yards? Can he make the throws on the run? We've seen his whole career. He's still got that. That is a dime throw, big time. Now, let's go finish it. This is only a few, look, all the people in the world that can do this, Andy's one of them. And he can go finish and win football games. That's not backup stuff. That's starter stuff. And so to me, again, the grit of Andy Dalton, you mean to go reclaim your career? I think he's 100% capable of it if he has the fight. I'll look for that tonight.
And what we saw there in that highlight, Randy, was the incredible firepower that he has at his disposal now.
This is the best offense that Andy Dalton has been in. He has these weapons. I talk about the three-headed monster, and one thing that the Dallas Cowboy fans need to understand about this three-headed monster tonight with Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton and his offense need to play to the strengths of these three-headed monsters. I'm going to show you a tape right here talking about their strengths. If you don't know about their strengths, I'm going to let you know about them. Let's start out with Amari Cooper right now. We already know about Amari Cooper's history, but I like the way he starts and stops. This man is a A-plus route runner. Here, you're going to go in, you're going to go back out. You see the DB is off his toes right there. And then we're going to go to my man in the middle. We talking about the rookie CeeDee Lamb. Hey, CeeDee Lamb, tonight, they're going to need CeeDee Lamb to come up big, be tough, like this right here. CeeDee Lamb works the middle. He runs a lot of seam routes. He loves some middle reads and post routes. Last but not least, let's go to the outside with Mr. Gallup. Big play, athletic ability that will go up and high point the ball. As here, as you can see, I'm giving you an inside release go because the DB's butt is toward the sideline. Michael Gallup is going to be able to make plays tonight. And like I said, Susie, starting this thing out, you got a three-headed monster right there. Tonight, Andy Dalton needs to play to the strengths of all three of his wide receivers.
Randy, I think you make a good point about the strength of this offense being the weapons on the outside. It's just about how do we get to that. I don't think they can come out and drop back and throw the football 50 times. Let's understand, how do we play complementary football? How do we win games? We have to protect our defense. It's the worst defense in football. So we want them on the field the fewest snaps as possible. Well, how do you do that? Control the clock a little bit. Run the football. I'm not saying that we're going to line up and become the Vince Lombardi Packers and we're going to be toss sweep here, toss sweep there. What I'm saying is let's feed Zeke a little bit. Play action pass, get the safety down, and then get the one-on-one weapons outside as far as Gallup and Lamb and Amari Cooper. It's a way you go about doing it, and it's a way you play complementary football.
Steve talked about how much Andy Dalton has riding on this game, this season. First of all, there's $1 million bonus if he takes the Dallas Cowboys to the playoffs because it was a 35% playtime threshold along with getting to the playoffs. He's going to get that playtime, so he makes extra money. And if he gets the Dallas Cowboys to the playoffs, he's on a one-year contract. That tells you he'll be a free agent, and there will be demand. If you go back to last offseason, there were two teams I spoke to that actually thought he was as good as just about any quarterback out there, and that was an offseason that included Tom Brady, where he was available, Phillip Rivers, who wound up in Indianapolis, Teddy Bridgewater, who wound up in Carolina. There were teams that really were interested in Andy Dalton, and if you take this team where it wants to go, I think there's going to be even more interest in Andy Dalton. Oh, by the way, Dak Prescott, no infections have set in over the last week. His recovery is on course. They're saying 7, 8, 9 months, but doctors were monitoring to see how he would fare that first week since having the surgery a week ago, and it's been great so far.
And, just in regard to Dak's value, I thought one of the most powerful things that Mike McCarthy said was it's not about the stat sheet or the production. It's about how Dak lights up a room, his leadership, all the little nuances, the coaching that he does on the field.
He never saw such a reaction to one injury in his entire coaching career.
Right.
He's seen a lot of players get hurt. There was never the reaction that there was for Dak Prescott going down the way he did last Sunday.
That's how much that man means to that organization.
Well, and hopefully Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones that were up in the box saw that, because I think with that news, no infection, we're going to heal. We're going to be back in the same situation again next offseason, and they're going to be forced again. Do we franchise him, or do we pay this man the $40 million that Deshaun Watson got? We are setting up with that news to be back in the exact same situation again.
We talk about what Dak means to the Dallas Cowboys. How about the fact that over the last week there was every single starting quarterback in the NFL reached out to Dak Prescott, called him, sent him a text. Former quarterbacks, current quarterbacks. That tells you something about how much he's respected.
Stevie is the heart and soul of this team, any way you slice it.
And that's why, I'm honestly, a week later, it's been settled on me all week. It's like it bugged me. It bugs me that he doesn't have the long-term contract. I hear, his agent was prickly and he wanted 5 versus 4. He wanted, this and that. It's like, once you decide in this league that you have the guy that you want, he's your leader, you figure it out. The idea that it didn't get figured out does rest with management, does rest with the owner, because we were going to have a whole offseason of all this dilemma, all this drama that is unnecessary. And the fact is, if you had Dak as your guy, he should be a long-term guy. They franchised 2 quarterbacks in the past that left teams. It was Drew Brees in San Diego, and it was Kirk Cousins in Washington. And he's the 3rd one, and they both left town. No, you don't imagine that Dak would ever leave town. But the fact is, we're talking about it because they couldn't agree, and that ends up in the owner's lap. This deal should be done, and we should not be talking about it today.
Look, I think they're going to figure out a way to get this done. And I think this injury levels the playing field.
Of course you do.
I think it makes it more likely that Dak's going to take a deal there. And I think it's more likely that Dallas is going to reward him when they see how much he means. So maybe the injury in the end is what everybody needed to get this deal done. Maybe that's what it took.
When you say level the playing field, what do you mean by that?
I think that maybe Dak says, you know what, I've wanted a 4-year deal. Okay, I'll take 5. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys say, we wanted a 5-year deal. Let's do a 4-year deal. Maybe it's enough to give in here and make sure that a deal gets done long term.